to have to wait as long as we did to get the great staff that we did, and I don't think anybody would complain about the final product with the staff, but for that to take as long as it did, which we knew that it probably would, that put us behind. That put us behind. I mean, think about Eddie Grand to get new keys. Guys that have fall recruiting, that doesn't happen. Pokey kids don't come to Tennessee. Pokey kids that Florida want go to Florida. That's happened for a long time, and so to have Eddie, and he was the front runner on that recruiting there. Who knows what would have happened if he'd been here the whole time. Eddie Grant, and then to have Eddie Ogeron, and Marcellus was gone. Coach, thanks a lot, but I'm going to Florida, 100%. There's no way I'm not going to Florida. And it's a different story today. So once those guys, if we would have had those guys in the beginning, it could have been different. But what I can tell to all our fans and the whole state is we're just getting started. We had a little bit of time here, and all this is just a little bit of a taste of once we get a chance to have a full year of relationships with coaches and players, and to show our product. Remember, the biggest part about recruiting to me is the evaluation process, and the biggest part about that is camps and being out in spring and getting to see players practice. We weren't anywhere near here at that time, so we'll find kids in our camp that maybe the computer systems or internet don't think are great players, and we'll find them in our camps and make our classes stronger and stronger for years to come. These kids and their parents and their mentors and their coaches and their aunts and uncles and cousins, have known the coaches at Alabama and Florida for 2 years, and some more than that. And so we had to overcome that, and in some instances we did. But it doesn't pay off right now. But the message that is, you kept watching guys throughout the day that a month ago didn't have us on the radar, and we're in their final 3, we're in their final 2, those hats are up there, and they're not coming to us, okay, a number of them. But the message is, everyone else on there were teams that were playing in BCS Bowls that have had great seasons, and then Tennessee's in there. And so I think that statement's going right now to every junior, every sophomore around. Wow, these kids had all the choices in the world, and Tennessee was in their final 3, even though we got a late start. So I love the message that's going out right now, and I love the feeling and the sense that the younger guys around the country are having, because we're recruiting 8th graders, by the way that what they see today will affect them. That's what they do. You're 4 or 5 years removed from what they see and the way that you play, they continue to remember that. So I love the start to it. The last 24 hours, there were so many kids that were down to the wire, because there were so many kids that weren't interested in here a month ago, and even they came on their visit, we might have been 4th or 5th, and then we jumped to their top 2, and to try to push them over the hump. There were so many kids in the last 24 hours. There were kids this morning, there were 5 kids going to signing this morning that didn't know where they were going, that we're still talking to. And it was hard, we didn't get near as many as we wanted to, but it's so hard to overcome a relationship that these kids had with coaches at other schools for 2 years, and for us to talk them in to trusting us and coming with us after maybe 2 or 3 weeks of conversations. And so that's where it'll improve in the future, but it paid off.